Hello once again everyone and welcome to Cruznik's Purgatory. I'm your host Cruznik X, alongside me Arya Stormborn.
Hey y'all.
And the ever lovable Stray.
Oh, I'm so lovable, I'm awesome.
So it took about a week, but I finally made it to level 80 on Ninja. As you can see, I am currently wearing the level 80 Ninja artifact gear. This is the weathered Hattori gear. Alongside it, the main weapon, the main artifact weapon for level 80 Ninja, the weathered Heishi Shuriken, or Shorinken, there we go. And this is the new armor introduced in Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers for ninja artifacts. Honestly, I like parts of it. Mainly the only gripes I really have are the headgear and the feet gear. But other than that, honestly, I like it. I'm definitely going to glamour the boots into something else. And I'm definitely going to change the headgear in terms of glamour. But I will do that on my own time and not during a stream. Let's take a look at what now. Shadowbringers has changed a lot with every single job, and at the time of this recording, we have just released patch 5.1. Words of virtue, vows of cruelty, or vows of virtue, words of cruelty. And so plenty more has changed since 5.0. So a lot of these skills that I'm about to explain have had significant changes, but we'll go through as we go along. We'll start off with the changes. Now, we'll start off with the changes to role actions. First and foremost, ninjas are now classified as melee physical DPS in terms of Shadowbringers. In terms of role actions, not too much has changed for a melee DPS. However, as with the previous videos, in terms of everything, you will have noticed that the TP gauge has been removed, and that's part of the new battle system update that came with Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. As such, skills like Invigorate and Goad have been removed, and those are just two of the role actions that have been removed in this expansion. Alongside it, with the new battle system, Goad and Crutch have also been removed. Let's take a look at the skills we do have. First and foremost, we still have Second Wind at level 8, which has a 120 recast time. It still instantly restores your HP with a cure potency of 500. Next up, the level 10 ability Leg Sweep, a 40-second recast time that stuns the target for 3 seconds. Following up at level 12 with Bloodbath, which is a 90-second recast time and converts a portion of physical damage dealt into HP for 20 seconds. Following that, level 22's ability Feint, which has a 90-second recast time and lowers the target's strength and dexterity by 10% for 10 seconds. At level 32, you get Arm's Length, which creates a barrier, which is a 120-second recast time, which creates a barrier nullifying most knockback and draw-in effects for 6 seconds, and adds an additional effect of slow plus 20 when the barrier is struck for 15 seconds on an enemy. And finally, of course, at level 50, you get True North, which is a 45-second recast time, or a 45-second charge time, with a maximum of 2 charges, and it nullifies all action direction requirements for a duration of 10 seconds. That takes care of the roll actions. Let's move on to actual ninja actions. Now, at the time of this recording, the ninja gauge has changed considerably, so a lot of what I'm reading off will have changed considerably, and I'm going to explain those changes. And just to keep in mind, again, that these are all due to be changed in future installments. First and foremost, let's start off with what we lost in terms of ninja. The abilities Jugulate, Smokescreen, Shadewalker, and Duality have all been removed. With the changes to how aggro works and the TP removal, it really didn't matter with those skills anyway, so let's talk about current ability changes. First and foremost, we have the level 1 skill, Spinning Edge, which now delivers an attack with a potency of 220 as opposed to its pre-Shadowbringers potency of 150. At level 4, the level 4 weapon skill, Gust Slash, now has a 330 combo potency as opposed to its pre-Shadowbringers potency of 200. The level 10 ability Hide is no longer broken by Sprint. And it still allows you to blend into your surroundings, making it impossible for most enemies to detect you. It now has an additional effect of restoring 2 charges to all Mudra. And we'll talk about the charges on Mudra in just a quick second. Or in a few. The level 15 ability Mug now has a 150 potency as opposed to its pre-Shadowbringers potency of 140, and it has a new trait that increases the Ninki gauge by 40 instead of 30. The level 26 weapon skill Aeolian Edge now has a 420 combo potency as opposed to its pre-Shadowbringers potency of 380. It also now has a 480 rear combo potency. The level 30 ability, the level 30 weapon skill Shadow Fang now is not a part of a combo, so it has no combo potency and only delivers an attack with a potency of 200 with a damage over time potency of 90 as opposed to its original 40. It also increases the Ninki gauge by 10 and its slashing resistance debuff has been removed. The level 38 weapon skill Death Blossom has been reduced from its original level 42 gain to level 38, and now has a potency of 120 as opposed to 110. The level 40 ability Shukuchi now has a trait that allows it to charge and has a maximum charge of 2 charges. The level 50 ability Kasatsu now has a 60-second recast time as opposed to its original 120. Pre 5.1, it used to have 2 charges, but those 2 charges have now been moved to the Mudra instead, which is a lot easier now than it was before. Let's see. The level 54 weapon skill Armor Crush now has a 400 combo potency instead of 240. and a flank potency, and now has a flank potency of 160. The level 56 ability, Dream Within a Dream, now has a 200 potency as opposed to its 150 and grants the effect of Assassinate Ready. The level 60 ability Assassinate now has a 1 second recast time, delivers a critical direct hit with a potency of 200 and can only be executed when Assassinate Ready, when under the effect of Assassinate Ready. It no longer requires the target to be under 20 HP, which is a good thing. The level 62 ability Hellfrog Medium now has a 50% potency drop. Oh, the 50% potency drop off has now been removed. We now have a new level 62 trait, Shukiho, which increases the Ninki gauge by 5 upon successfully landing certain weapon skills or completing certain combos. At level 66, we get Enhanced Mug, which increases the Ninki gauge by 40 upon successfully landing Mug. The level 68 ability, Bavakakra, now has a 300 potency as opposed to its original 600. And finally, the level 70 ability, Tenchi Jin, now has no Ninki gauge cost and cannot be executed while under the effect of Kasatsu. Let's move on to some ninjutsu changes. First and foremost, the potency of Fuma Shuriken has now been increased to 500 as opposed to its original 240. The potency for Raiton has been increased to 800 as opposed to 360. And finally, Suiton's potency has been increased to 600 as opposed to its pre-Shadowbringers potency of 180. Let's move on to some new abilities. First and foremost, at level 52, we now get the ability. Where is it? There it is. Now at level 52, we now get the ability Hake Mujinsatsu, which delivers an attack, which is a 5 yalm radius attack with a recast time of 2.46 seconds, and delivers an attack with a potency of 100 to all nearby enemies. It shares a combo with Death Blossom, so allow me to show you how it works. First Death Blossom, and then Hake Mujinsatsu. The combo potency is 140, and it extends the Huton duration by 10 seconds to a maximum of 70. It also increases the Ninki gauge by 5 points. At level 72, we gain the ability Meisui, which dispels the Suiton effect, increasing the Ninki gauge by 50 points, and it can only be executed while in combat. This skill has a 120-second recast time. At level 74, we gain the trait Enhanced Shukuchi 2, which allows the accumulation of charges for consecutive uses of the Tsukuchi ability. The maximum number of charges is 2. At level 76, we gain the trait Enhanced Kasatsu, which upgrades Katon and Hyoton to Goka Mekyaku and Hyosho Ranryu while under the effect of Kasatsu. Let's talk about those abilities for a quick second. First and foremost, Goka Mekyaku, which is a instant cast 15 yalm range fire attack with a potency of 750 to target and all enemies nearby it. The Mudra combinations are either chi Enten or jin Enten. It can only be executed while under the effect of Kasatsu, and it triggers the cooldown of weapon skills, mudra, and ninjutsu upon execution. Also, Hyosho Ranryu, which is a 25 yalm range, 1 minute, 1 second, 1.5 second cast that deals ice damage with a potency of 1200. The mudra combinations for this are Chi and Jin or Ten and Jin. It can, once again, it can only be executed under the effect of Kasatsu. At level 78, we gain the trait Shukiho 2, which increases the Ninki gauge by 10 points upon successfully landing Shadow Fang or completing a combo with Aeolian Edge or Armor Crush. Finally, and this is my favorite part, for those of you who were stoked from just the Job Actions video, we get the level 80 ability Bunshin, which grants 5 stacks, which is a 90-second recast time, instant cast, that grants 5 stacks of Bunshin, each stack allowing your shadow to attack enemies each time you execute a weapon skill. Shadow attack potency varies based on the attack executed, but is not affected by combo bonuses. Its melee attack potency is 200, range attack potency of 100, and area attack potency of 100. The Ninki gauge increases by 5 points each time your shadow lands an attack. This ability lasts for a duration of 30 seconds and has a Ninki gauge cost of 50. Not a bad list there. A lot of quick hitting attacks. I haven't had the ability to try out Bunshin yet in a combat scenario, but I'm hoping to do it in the foreseeable future. We'll see what happens. Now, let's move on to the storyline. The whole ninja storyline has been an interesting back and forth between meeting new friends, meeting up with old friends. Some people are dead, then they're not, then they're dead again, and then they're not again. It's just been a gigantic what the crap.
Mind blown.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see how the storyline progresses with this one quest. So let's not waste any more time and get right down to it with the level 80 quest, Oboro's Big Idea. You thought you evaded me for good, did you? We'll see who has the last laugh. Chris? By the kami, don't sneak up on me like that. That is, of course, I felt your presence. Yes, I was simply deep in thought, that was all. But I dare say for good reason. For you see, I have finally tracked down that elusive bird, and am ready to seize him by the wings and take back what is mine. I speak, of course, of that blasted Karasu. Ever since he escaped with half of the Forbidden Scroll, I have not let up in the search for a moment. Today, at long last, I have found him. Truly, this is a reason to rejoice, would you not agree? And yet, the act of stealing the scroll black will not prove so simple, which is why your arrival is truly a gift from the heavens. You will aid me in the task, will you not? It will be just like old times. Once again, I owe you my gratitude. Now, let us get down to brass tacks, as Jack would say. My shinobi have ascertained that Karasu has once again returned to Eosian shores to ply his trade, such as it is, in the shadows of the black markets. Furthermore, they say he has taken up residence in secret at a secluded grove in La Nosha, known as the Hermit's Hovel. You know the place, yes? Let us meet up there, and I will share with you the ingenious details of my plan. I will go ahead on my own. We do not want to attract attention, after all. Something tells me that Oboro's idea is so not gonna work.
Oh, really?
Alright. The long climb is where? Outer Lanouche.
I don't know. I have no idea where you are.
Oh, wrong way. Hupsy daisy. I definitely know I need to do more hunts, because I can't keep expecting these Mog tomes to suffice for me. Alright, here we are speaking to Oboro. I thank you for coming, Chris. Now, without further ado, let me explain precisely how I intend to recover the scroll from Karasu's clutches. My colleagues and I have been observing the man closely for a fortnight or so. Though one would assume otherwise, he is actually a man of remarkably consistent routine. He carries the scroll in a case that never leaves his side, save that is, for when he goes for his daily bath, at precisely the same hour each day. I had a mind to lift the scroll from his possessions while he was otherwise occupied, much as we did with Zakuro that one time in Kugane. But would you believe it? Almost as if by magic, no sooner has he entered the bath than he is out again, scroll at his side and fully dressed in that garish garb of his. This is where you come in. Worry not, this will not involve any high wire walking or elaborate disguises. I simply intend to invite the man to share a drink, and thereby delay his departure. In the meantime, you are to sneak into the bathhouse and steal away with the scroll. Ingeniously plotted, would you not say? I need only lull Karasu into a false sense of security with my impeccable acting skills, and the scroll is as good as ours. What could go wrong? So let us put the plan in action. Let us make for the hovel. Separately, of course. Find yourself suitable cover, and wait for me to lure the crow away. We shall meet again here once you have safely recovered the scroll. Yeah, sure, what could go wrong?
That's when everything goes wrong.
Exactly.
Beep, 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 beep. FYI, I'll be going to bed soon.
No problem.
What am I watching?
This is so not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm just leveling up fast with my rogue. I'm already at 8 and it's only been, 10 minutes?
Nice. Here we go.
So I got food, I've got my Helm of Light, and I got my ring.
Nice. Alright, here we go. Oh,
Plus your,
but what's this? Our hero arrives for a relaxing soak in his favorite spring, only to be stared down by his self-styled rival and realm-renowned oaf, Oboro the Dim. Have you not yet had your fill of being outwitted and embarrassed by your betters? Spare me the bombast and bluster, Karasu. I stand before you today with an offer of peace. We are countrymen, and there was once a time when we called each other friend. Has our conflict not persisted long enough? So let us lay down our weapons for a day. Let us soak in these soothing waters, reminisce about times gone by, and see if we cannot put our petty differences behind us. Why, I've even brought a bottle of Hingen rice wine for the occasion. Astonishing! Incredible! Has the dim one lost his wits? Does he believe that a few flowery words are enough to pull the wool over the crow's keen eyes while he steals away with the scroll? The audience gasped at the sheer audacity! Believe me or do not, the choice is yours. But this I swear, I have no interest in seeing the two halves of that accursed scroll reunited. On the contrary, with one half safely sealed away in our village, and the other in the hands of the realm's most elusive ninja. The forbidden mudra will never be wielded again, and I would not have it any other way. Furthermore, I've recently found enlightenment of a sort. At long last, I have realized that your skill with ninjutsu far exceeds my own. Even had I once decided to steal the scroll back from you, I am now painfully aware that doing so is entirely beyond my abilities. Oh ho! Well, color me surprised. The boy's actually grown half a brain since last we met. But aren't you being a bit naive, Oboro? After all, what's to stop me from simply returning to our village, effortlessly incapacitating our elders, and seizing the other half of the scroll for myself? I know you too well, Karasu. It is not power that you crave, but freedom. You've worked too long, too hard to cast off the shackles of our village to risk losing it all over a single scroll. The audience gasps. Why, I do believe that's the single most intelligent utterance that's ever escaped the dim one's lips. Very well then, I'm feeling generous today, so I do believe I'll entertain your offers. Though for your sake, I do hope that the rice wine you brought is a good vintage. I simply cannot abide poor taste in beverages, you see. Let's see now. Hey, I found a scroll. It's entitled Mastering Domin Mahjong, a primer for apprentices. This isn't the item I'm looking for. You found a scroll. It's entitled Oboro's dullest and most dim-witted moments, as chronicled by Karasu Redbeak. This ain't it. Let's see. Big ears and bushy tails on the breeding and rearing of rabbits. That ain't it. Let's see. The Wandering Minstrel's greatest mysteries revealed. Nope. The bookshelf appears quite sturdy. So this has got to be it. There it is. And watch this scroll be a fake. I just have a feeling. Ah, you returned, friend. And with the scroll safely in your grasp, no doubt. Let me examine it, that I might ascertain its authenticity. Yes! Yes! There can be no doubting it! This is indeed the forbidden mudra I sought. After all these years, finally I have outridden that accursed crow! And yet, we must be wary. No doubt Karasu has already realized that something is amiss. Let us reconvene at the storehouse before he can pick up our trail. This is going almost too well. Arya Stormborn commented, "Goodness, they're rather almost naked." Let's hope this is all good. And the big reveal. Welcome back, Chris. Do forgive me if I am a bit giddy. I still cannot quite believe that I outwitted Karasu for once. My plans have a habit of firing back, as they say. Why, you should have seen him. So convincing was my act that by the time we were through, he was stumbling and slurring his words so much that you'd think he'd downed the whole bathtub's worth of rice wine. God's piss, lad, shut your gob! Every Corbin mod for moms can hear you blabbing. Ah, Captain Jack. A pleasure as always. Do forgive me my outburst. I was merely celebrating with our mutual friend here my most remarkable triumph over the accursed Karasu. Oh there, Chris. Always a pleasure to see a dimber-damber like yourself back in town. I trust your stabbers haven't indulged none since last we met. Anyway, between this reunion and Oboro's hard-won victory, I reckon we've got cause to celebrate. What say we drag our do-beaters back to town and yaffy ourselves a bite at the Bismarck? A splendid idea, my friend. Why, I would enjoy nothing more than to share this joyous moment with my boon companions. To the Bismarck, then. And the first round is on me. That's the spirit. I'll send ahead for Underfoot and the Stray. The more the benar, after all. Aye, been too long since we had a right little rogue family reunion. An upstanding fellow as ever, that Captain Jack. Ah, but it is somewhat bittersweet, is it not? Now that my long-standing pursuit of Karasu has come to a close, I find myself in search of a new mission. A new purpose in my life, such as it were. I have no intention of returning to the cramped confines of my village, and yet I am uncertain where my abilities might best avail the people of this realm. Pray tell, what sort of adventures have you been occupying yourself with of late? I did battle with a great hunter. What's this you say? There exist worlds out there other than our own. If you are having a jest at Oboro's expense, old friend, let it be known I do not find it amusing. But, no. I can tell that you say this in earnest. Consider me intrigued, though. Forgive me if I am not in a hurry to seek out a means to travel there. No, I will bide my time here in Eorzea and carefully ponder my future. At any rate, we mustn't keep Jack and the others waiting, yes? I will make for the Bismarck as soon as I have attended to my affairs here. Why don't you travel on ahead? Alright. Alright, I can take the ramp up here because that leads right to the Bismarck in the upper decks. Alright, where's everyone sitting? There we go. And just like that, the scroll was mine again. And so I say, who is the dim one now, you damned crow? Aye, you've told the tale thrice over already. Is the mutton here yet? I'm a right bandit, I say. And I will tell it over and again, my good captain. After all, it is no small feat to triumph over Karasu, quite possibly the most supremely skilled shinobi of our village, nay, our world has ever known. Oh, come on, everybody know... You can say that again. Wait, you already have. Okay, I'm not falling for this. That's Karasu in disguise. My friends, be on your guard! That Oboro is a fake! Even I wasn't falling for it. Wait, what in the... There's two of them! What nonsense is this? The sheer gall of this man! Clearly, if anyone here is a fake, it is the madman standing in the middle of this fine establishment, stripped down to nothing but his undergarments! I don't know, Chuck. They both look right convincing to me. Which is the true Oboro? It's definitely the one in his underclothes. Come on. Aye, Jack's glazes say the same. Only the real Oboro would be daft enough to stumble into this place stripped down to his skivvies. Oh, fine then. I tire of this drab old disguise anyhow. Karasu! Does your villainy know no bounds? Villainy? You wound me, Oboro. Why, after I learned the art of illusion from that overstuffed Lord What's-His-Name, I simply thought I would put it to use and have a little fun. We did have a little fun, didn't we? I must say, Oboro, your friends are far more entertaining than you are. I dare say you could learn a thing or two from them. But, well, I suppose all good things must come to an end. Till we meet again. Farewell! Off like a crow in the night. Don't be too hard on yourself, boy. You had us all rooked. Anyhow, now that's all's Bob. I reckon it's about time we took our dew beaters to the sisters. You come along too, Oboro. I'll get you something to cover yourself up a bit. It's like, even someone totally brain dead could have known that was Karasu. The poses he was making, come on. Captain Jack was kind enough to lend me some garb from his personal wardrobe. They are rather, how might I describe it? Extremely flamboyant? Sophisticated, stylish, dashing, and delightful. Did I tell ye, or did I tell ye? Old Jack's got you looking Bernard than ever before. Every rum, doxy, and limsa won't be able to take your glazes off, eh? Nor can I, and not in a good way. In any event, I owe you all, especially you, Chris, and apologies for this most unfortunate turn of events. I had thought my plan flawless, but unfortunately I had neglected to account for one thing. The possibility that Karasu's tolerance for Hingen rice wine might be considerably higher than my own. I cannot say for sure precisely what happened. All I know is that one moment we were engaged in a most delightful conversation, and the next I was lying on a cot in the hovel with nothing but my undergarments on me. Suspecting that something was amiss, I dashed back to the dark storehouse as quick as my legs could carry me, only to find neither you nor Karasu present, and my personal wardrobe completely empty to boot. Ha! A dimber-damber as always, that one! Getting you some new duds was one thing, but clawing that scroll back from Karasu is going to be a whole nother matter. Damn it all! But mark my words, that scoundrel will not get away with his villainy this time. No. I must return to the storehouse at once and draw up a plan to retrieve what is rightfully mine. For all the lads whinging, damned if he didn't actually seem pleased with this turn of events. Well, Chris, reckon you've got adventures and you'd best be getting back to, eh? Just promise me you'll drop in on Oboro and lend him your daddles from time to time. He's a good lad, but he's got a habit of tripping over his own two do-beaters if you whittle me. Now you've got me sounding like the boy's father. Anyhow, don't be a stranger here at the sisters either. Gods only know we can always use a dimber-damber like yourself. And with that, we've unlocked the achievement Against the Ninja 4. With it, we've got a brand new title. Where are you? There you are. I am now Shadow of the Other. But with that being said, we're going to have to wait till the next expansion to see how this storyline progresses. I'm sure it'll be interesting, but we'll see what happens. But until then, that's going to be it for this episode of Cruisenix Purgatory. A special thank you to Stray and Arya Stormborn for joining us.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button, be sure to turn on notifications so you're well informed, and be sure to subscribe to me for access to exclusive live streams and videos. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me, click here to watch the next episode, and click here to watch the previous one. Until next time, Cruisenix signing out.
Bye-bye.